everybody, Heather from New Zealand here. Welcome to a very hot and muggy New Zealand summer day. Today what I'm wanting to talk about is the FLYLADY Zone System, the final layer of the FLYLADY housekeeping system. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. I want to talk about, all the details, but also how can we keep it simple? How can we use it to take stress out of our lives? What do we do each week? Where do we start? How much do we do? How can we make it part of our schedule? Also wanting to talk about, different ways of tweaking it to fit your lifestyle, because everybody's life is different. What works for me isn't going to work for my neighbour. So let's talk about that as well. Keep watching to the end and you'll get all that information. Okay, FLYLADY's cleaning zones. It all sounds pretty good. You may have heard of it already, and you may feel that you want to get on board with this new idea. So first of all, a little bit of an introduction. The FLYLADY is a whole system which has different parts in it, and you start from zero. You start from building little habits that you build upon, and over time you come up with routines and schedules, and you build some skills of how to manage and organize yourself. And the zone cleaning is kind of like the final stage. So if you're new to the FLYLADY idea, please don't jump in at this point. Please go back and look at my earlier videos, take those 31 baby steps. Work on adding those routines to your life, the morning routine, the afternoon routine and the evening routine. Think about adding the weekly tasks that we do. Every day of the week has a different task. All the time we're building and building and building, creating new habits, creating helpful habits, and this is like the final tier, the last piece of the jigsaw. I particularly like this piece of the jigsaw because for me it takes off all the thinking that I need to do about my house. I don't need to think, where do I have to clean, because it's all there in the zone system for me. So let's get into it straight away. Okay, so it's not a confusing concept at all. Basically all you're doing is chopping up your housework and the jobs that you do into different areas of your house. So we have 5 areas that we're going to go around those areas 1 week at a time, and then come back to the beginning and go around again. So every 5 weeks your house will be cleaned completely. Not the everyday stuff that's taken care of in our routines and our weekly tasks. This is the part where we get into the nitty-gritty of cleaning and maybe do a little bit more of a thorough clean in those areas. Now, the exciting thing about that is that your house will, once you've got the system up and going, your house will always be clean. It'll always be a situation where visitors can walk into any room because you have an ongoing system that keeps your house up to the standard that you want it at. So that is pure magic in my book. Okay, so what are the zones? Really simply, zone 1. Zone 1 is your entrance, your front porch and your dining room. Okay, or your dining area if you haven't, like me, and you have an all-in-one room. So zone 1, entrance, front porch and dining area. Zone 2 is your kitchen and your pantry. Zone 3 is your main bathroom plus one other room. Zone 4 is the master bedroom. Now you might have an ensuite like me, I haven't, and also your closet. So that can be 3 depending on how your house is made up. And zone 5 is your living room. If you have a family room or a den, you can include that one in there as well. Okay, so those are the basic 5 zones. We're going to work in each area for 1 week. Okay, now today, as you see up here, is the 31st of February. It's a Friday. And so that means that we are in zone 4. We're in the main bedroom, the ensuite and the closet. Now, I will talk a little bit later how I know I'm in that zone for that day. So just hang in there and I'll tell you that a little bit later. But let's use this zone as an example of how to do every zone. Okay, so the first number one rule with zone cleaning is you have to have a clutter-free area. So for your first, when you first start the system, you will go into your zone, in this case the master bedroom, and you will declutter for 15 minutes. Use your timer, put it on 15 minutes. This is on 3 minutes for some reason, but set it for 15 minutes and declutter for 15 minutes. When that 15 minutes is over, come out of there. That's your zone cleaning done for the day. Now, you keep doing that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 5 times you're going to do that 15 minutes in there. So it'll all add up to an hour and 15 minutes of decluttering. When you get to a point where you can now go in and the clutter's gone and you can clean, then you write yourself a list. Quite an easy list. The way I did it was I got my little clipboard out and I pretended that I was writing a list for the cleaning lady. I had my fantasy on that I'd won the lotto and I was going to employ somebody to do all my cleaning for me. What was really useful about that was that I looked at things in a slightly different way. I'm thinking, okay, and that helped. So I looked up and I thought, okay, I would love those cobwebs done. So I wrote cobwebs. The lampshade, I'd really like that dusted and cleaned lampshade. I'd like all the top surfaces dusted on top of the cabinets. Wrote that down. I'd like the bed cleaned. I'd like the all the dusting of the surfaces done. I'd like the mirrors cleaned. I'd like the floor thoroughly vacuumed. I'd like that old wooden rocking chair really dusted on the bottom part of it. I don't know, your list might have something different. Obviously in the bathroom, I'd like the shower scrubbed from top to bottom. I'd like the door done. I'd like the cabinet cleaned out and all the rubbish taken out. So writing these things all down on a list. Okay, so when we've got a cleaning list, I then sat down and had a cup of tea because just thinking about it was all a bit overwhelming, and I looked at the list and I realised that a lot of things on that list I was actually already doing as part of the FlyLady routines and as part of the weekly tasks. So I crossed those off my list straight away. So take out all those things off your list, cross. You'll be surprised how many there are that are already being covered, and see what you've got left. Those are your tasks for your zone cleaning. So when you come to your zone cleaning day, again, put your timer on for 15 minutes and start your list. Now, the beauty of having a list is I tick them off as I go. The first couple of times you do this, it's going to take longer. As you do it more and more regularly, and then when you're doing these things once a month, it's just going to be a quick 1-2. So don't get discouraged if you don't get everything done on your list. Just tick the list, tick what you've done in your 15 minutes, put it in your control journal. I pray you've done yourself a control journal by now, because if you haven't, please do that, because you need it for the zone systems as well as your other routines. So put your list in there and put it away till that zone comes back again. Okay, so then 5 weeks later you're going to come back, you're going to come back to this zone, which at the moment is the master bedroom, and there is your list, and you will have whatever percentage, 50% or 75% or quarter of your jobs done. So start on the other jobs, work through them. Okay, do you get the idea? Does that make sense? Please let me know in the comments if this is all making sense. And then, so that's how you work the system. You stick to 15 minutes, you follow your list, you pretend you've got the cleaning lady coming, and you work through your zone. So then the following week, you go on to your next zone. Same situation. You only have to write that list out once, remember, and then you've got it in your control journal forever. Okay, so please do ask me any questions if I've missed something out or haven't explained something very well. So the next question that we want to cover is, how do I know which zone I work on which day? Now, first of all, it's 100% up to you how you run this system, because it's your system and it's got to work for you. I have done it really simply, and I've just said, okay, I'm going to work from Monday to Friday for a week. I'm going to start at zone 1, and then I'm going to move my way through, and just every week I change and I just go down the numbers. And if that's the way you want to do it, that's fine. I've found that I haven't stuck to that system for various reasons, and I have gone to the way that the FlyLady does it on the calendar. So I want to explain that system a little bit more if you want to follow that one. So what I've done is I've taken my diary, this is my 2021 diary, and I've played with my felt pens. I always love playing with my felt pens. So zone 1, which is the entrance, the front porch and the dining room, they are always, the FlyLady always does those on the first few days of the month. So if you look here, this is August 2021 I'm doing this for. So here we go, zone 1. This first week you'll see you actually have a full week for zone 1 that month. Okay? Then you go on to zone 2, zone 3, zone 4 and zone 5. Okay? And so, but what I want you to look at is up here. See, that first few days up to the first Sunday is zone 1. Now the following month, when you come around to it, you'll notice it's much smaller. You only have 3 days. Don't worry about that. As the system is designed for a long-term rotating process, so a lot of these things kind of straighten themselves out, and you'll see that here. See, on this month, you're only going to have 1 day in that zone. Panic. No need to panic, because look, the following month, you've got a whole week. So you're going to be able to be much more thorough from that week. So over time, that evens itself out. Now, zone 2 is always the first full week you have in a month, which you can see there is quite easy. Zone 3 is always your second full week, and zone 4 your fourth full week. And zone 5, you've got the same thing happening with zone 5 as you did with zone 1. You see here, we only have a couple of days. Here, we've got a bit longer. This time, we've got a whole week, and this time a little bit shorter. So that's the way that I work it now, and I find that works best for me. I don't have to think about it. I just have it on my calendar. What day is it? It's the 21st of February. That means I'm in zone 4, the master bedroom. All that thinking is gone. I pick up my list, I go to my bedroom, I do what my list says for 15 minutes. So that's the way to do the calendar. You can do the calendar system, or just say, okay, I'm just going to do this from 1 week from where I start. Do what works best for you. So just in summing up and finishing off this video, I just wanted to quickly address what has worked for me and what hasn't worked for me around the zone cleaning. One problem I had was my own impatience. You may not be an impatient person, that might not be a problem for you, but it certainly was a problem for me. The second problem was my other commitments that I had. I work part-time and I have other commitments as well with my children and my family. So I don't have a full day to do this system. There are some weeks where I might not be able to get this zone cleaning all done for 15 minutes, 5 days a week. And on those weeks, what I do is I say, okay, I'm going to allow a little bit of extra time on a Saturday to do what I would have done during the week if I was doing 15 minutes a day. So I will do an hour and 15 minutes on a Saturday morning to tick off that zone list. So some weeks I've got more time, so I can do it 15 minutes ago. Some weeks I have to do it on the Saturday. Some weeks are something in between. So choose what's going to work for you. Well, that's all I've got on the zones for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and push the bell. And I'll say goodbye from New Zealand, and I'll see you in the next video.